Zebra doesn't have to shield him very often, he can't say no.
That's very true. And he also doesn't like tank comps, which Gigantti might be running here. Looks like Milky Man is going to jump onto that Winston. Obviously 5 seconds could change it up. We're seeing a lot of Widow play, and I want to see KSP on playing for Morningstars, please. He's so good. He's so good at Widowmaker. Why not play him on Ruins? But we are going to see Leaf, in fact, in. We can see Dragon Eddie as well. Play for Team Italy over in the World Cup in the Paris stage. Did perform extremely well on the Diva. We'll see if he can actually take it here to Zappis, who's had the Overwatch League experience.
Davin's falling low already, but has got himself a lot of energy to try and carve his way through. Morningstars right here. Oh, taking too much damage. Speaking of which.
Yep, Milky Man took about 300 too much damage. Leaf is going to be able to secure the kill, and there's a quick, clean sweep for Morningstars. I want to point out, look at this ult charge already for Tridd. Normally on the Mercy. I bet he's happy with those Mercy buffs coming through on the PTR. Is actually on the Lucia to speed them in. Xwrath also, superstar DPS, or superstar, I should say DPS, but he's a Zenyatta player who's fantastic at laying down the damage as well. He was on Young and Beautiful last season, now on Morningstars. Going to have his belly filled with that chef's cooked meals. That's got to feel pretty good if you're a player, not going to lie. Milky Man changing over to the Reinhardt, however, was on the Winston. Doesn't want to get too bullied, though. They're going to have to back off rather sharpish. However, Malzassa pretty low. Nice eat there by Dragon Eddie, making sure the Flame Strike doesn't kill Malzassa, but Leaf already going down. Gigantti going to have to make another pick here to make this stick. Leaf with a rally almost coming online, but 2 Transcendences used already. Gigantti and Morningstar staying alive on the point, but Casper already has that Graviton Surge. Doesn't want to lay it just yet, and a beat from Tridd to march them forward.
Zappis tries to win if it's not going to be successful, and everyone fought in.
Oh no, the bomb's going to come in. Can they get it, Dragon? If he finds one, Vizinsky is going to go down. Still stuck in the Brigitte prison. Is going to go back to spawn. Xwrath's going to find a kill as well. And Morningstar's continuing to hold on to this point, even though Leaf got picked off in the early start of the fight.
Zappis there being read very well by Casper. He was trying to throw a defense matrix across the point of Ruins to try and catch out that Graviton Surge. They knew it would be available. However, Casper waited for it to time out the second it went down. He laid down the Graviton, brought in many members of Team Gigantti, and they were easy to swing through for Malzassa, rather, who's now earned himself an Earth Shadow, which should be ready to combo with Leaf's very own Shield Bash.
Oh, there it is, straight into the double shield. How did Davin do it? I don't actually know. There is the Shadow as well. Beautiful shield bash from Facility. No longer is he in Brigitte prison. Nice shield bash again on Milky Man. He can't seem to do anything, but it doesn't matter because Zappis is going to be there to clean up the rest. Dragon Eddie's mech falls, so does Malzassa to that self-destruct. Gigantti finally taking control of that point, but 90% and one more team fight will leave Morningstars to victory. However, Gigantti still have to hold on to this. Normally, like we mentioned before on the desk, 60% or over 60% of the time, if you do cap that point first, you're more than likely going to win on these COF game times.
Davin there really was the hero, building up a barricade with both of his bubbles to make sure that stun shatter could not be too effective from Malzassa. And now Davin does have a little bit of energy to work with. He can give a bubble to Milky Man should it be required.
Casper has 90% on the grab too, but Zappis does have the Transcendence. Got to use that only for that ultimate. If they don't use that, Milky Man is going to have a very, very rough time. Morningstar's now moving in. They got the rally up. Same with Lee. Facility's almost got his second one, but still he's already 100%, well, 100% HP. He should be now as the Transcendence does go off, as he does manage to save the rest of his team. Casper not using that Graviton Surge too well, but you can't really do much into a Transcendence. There's a beat also for Morningstars, and Gigantti answer with theirs in kind. Self-destruct onto the point, doesn't find anybody just yet, but with Milky Man going down, there's very few frontline tanks now for Gigantti to actually work with. Dan's going to throw out the Graviton Surge, but Dragon Eddie, I believe he just ate that one. Clean up. Xwrath still going to press the Q to unleash the Transcendence as the overtime does tick down.
And now they need to get onto the point. Dragon Eddie's going to be joining there as well. Needs to get around that pillar, my man.
Oh, he's on top of the Malzassa, taking a little bit too much damage. Dead from above. Dragon Eddie manages to find the kill. No shield's going to save you from that one. He's going fairly low himself. He's going to reposition back himself onto the point. But with Facility falling, Malzassa finding the kill onto Davin. This looks like it's going to be a Morningstars win, unless this self-destruct is something special. Malzassa does go down, actually, to Zupe of all people. If this could be the take-around, I'm not entirely sure. Zupe has got the Transcendence to live Gigantti through this one in the longest overtime ever. It feels like they managed to get the recap.
And over the course of that fight, Team Gigantti have managed to get both of their support ultimates back. A little bit laid down a sandbar, but it wasn't overly effective. Both Milky Man and Zappis are already dead, so it only affected 4 members who were caught in the Graviton of Casper. Speaking of which, Jaws, look at that percentage. 93% already again for Casper. He's going up against 2 of the support ultimates, so maybe they can try and force those out with some other kind of offense.
Well, there's Lee. Hits Q. Is going to get ready for disengage. There's the Graviton Surge. Milky Man's going to go there. Nice shadow to try and disengage. The slam doesn't end up hitting does get blocked with a shield. This is that pin. Malzahsa does end up missing that one, and a barrier coming out from Gigantti. Try and march him forward. Dragon Eddie is going to take out Mokiman. 2 Reinhardt's already going to go down. Leaf overextending just a little bit and gets taken out by Zippe. 2 support ultimates used on top of each other. Morningstars aren't going to have anything to actually survive through this grab, but it doesn't look like Gigantti have the damage. Zappa's actually, I take that back, because Zappa's actually in Facility are just swinging in there wholeheartedly. 94, 95% now for Gigantti. Determined to break the curse, the 60% curse. However, Malzahsa trying to make his way towards the point, but a beautiful rocket flail from Facility is going to make sure he doesn't get the touch in time.
A little bit there, also got a boop to stop Malzahsa midway through his tracks and make sure that he couldn't touch the point, meaning that overtime was not, well, refired? What did you call it? Refreshed? Refreshed.
Refreshed,
That would be the word.
Yeah,
but speaking of refreshing, let's refresh the score. 1-0 now to Team Gigantti as we move over to the well. And of course, when you look at the well, Jaws, there's something in the center of it which really does become the focal point of attention.
Is it a well?
It is a well!
Oh, that's all right then. I wonder why they made them that there.
Who'd have thunk it?
I don't know, mate.
Well, Mokiman and Malzahsa definitely thought about it, picking up the arrestor, and this is where the Holt can be incredibly useful by pulling people down that well for the instant kills. And of course, it does mean there's a very treacherous commute around that central area to try and aggress onto the opposing team. This is very good if you're on the defense, because you can set up and make the opposing team try and come to you while you accrue percentage.
A 1-2-3 comp from Morningstars. That's where it is on that McCree. Nice eat there of the Holt. Don't want to get pulled up. Extra damage when you're above that shield can be fairly painful. Nice speed boost actually coming through from Gigantti as well. Just matching the one from Morningstars to try and take control of the back of the point. Malzahsa, what are you doing? What are you doing? You can't be right in front of your team without a shield. Ends up getting headshot by Davin. Davin's going to pick up 3 kills. Dragon Eddie's going to fall as well. Quick reset for Morningstars, although Team Kill going to come out. Gigantti end up capping the point first.
Huge potential for headshot damage here from Team Gigantti. Facility will do 250 damage of a headshot, 125 times 2, or 245 if it's against the armor of Malzahsa, and of course Davin can do 140 per as well. So Malzahsa didn't really know what hit him when he got hit in the head by both of those DPS. He was gone in a flash, Jaws. Doesn't matter how much healing you have. And Morningstars, they're going to be swapping up their composition here. They're going to be moving over to something a little bit more dive-centric, still rocking the 3 supports, but instead of a 3rd tank, Casper is going to be moving over now to the Genji. Wants to try and get onto Facility, onto Davin, but he's going to have to worry about that flashbang.
Oh, that's so hard, especially if Zippe does manage to land the Discord Orb as well. Davin's going to have an easy time killing him. However, up in the air, not so much. Facility does have ultimate also. It doesn't look like they're going to go for the top. All right, right-click and a dash. Insta-kill onto Davin. Can't really flashbang that if you're already dead. There is a Transcendence available. Oh, sorry, Extra just used his and actually gets the kill onto Mokiman as well. Just looking pretty good. Casper going pretty low, and they are managing to contest the point for the time being. However, Facility has 30% towards another set of Dragons. Killing off Tridd here. It's going to be hard for Morningstars to re-engage onto this point. Now, the reset would be ideal for them right now. Davin on 90% for high noon. However, you've got to watch out for Casper. You get that reflected into the rest of your team. That's bad news bad for Team Gigantti.
A well-executed dive there from Morningstars. They just couldn't try and stay in for long enough against Zippe. Transcendence, just too much healing to try and take out a singular target. And now Team Gigantti are able to reset on the defense. You can see Mokiman from long range laid down a shield, so they've got their bastion of safety from which behind Davin can activate his Deadeye.
It's high noon time. Here we go. Got to make sure you get someone though. Didn't get deflected. Casper's almost got the ultimate as well. Beautiful kill and Facility to start the fight off. Exorat's going to find Davin as well. He's going for the dive with Casper. Doesn't even need the Dragon Blade to start off with. There you go. The resets are going to come through. Although Little Bo jumps out of the pit a million miles an hour. I do like watching Lucio players even, especially on this map, storing the point for ages, just dipping the head in and out of the well. However, right now, Gigantti, they've got a couple of ults online there, are able to lay down that sand barrier, and if they find a nice boop onto Casper, his blade can be rendered useless.
Davin, they were pretty questionable Deadeye, I've got to say. Inside that small room with Casper, you just know that he's going to get hit with 1,000 shurikens and potentially a couple more. And now Team Gigantti do have the sieging power of the Supercharger. It's got a huge ultimate win percentage, but Morningstars, when you talk about ultimate, you've got to look at that 6-stack that's coming up.
Well, okay, man. Laying down that first up. However, you've got to look out from the skies. Did you see Milky Man? The rest of his team gets stunned. It's like, wait, what just happened? Dragon Eddie's going to get the first kill onto Zippe with the self-destruct. Casper still not using that blade because he doesn't need to. Malzahsa getting beaten up fairly heavily. However, he does have Brigitte at his back to provide him with a whole lot of armor. Is going to find the kill onto Davin as well. Morning Stars blowing 3 ults in that fight, kind of perfect. They are on 42%. If they win the next fight, it's going to be up to Gigantti to win the next one, or they are going to forfeit the map.
And what was perfect there from Morning Stars, they managed to force everyone into that narrow corridor and out of the start line of a supercharge. I mean, they couldn't get the 50% increased damage, which could have potentially swung that fight in their favor. And now they're looking low on ultimates. They've only got 3 to play with here, but 2 of them are going to be supports.
Oh, that rally. It's pretty nasty for Davin. He's going to have to click a few more times on a few people's heads to make sure he can get through that armor. Leaf's going to kill Lil Bo straight up, but Transcendence from Zuppe is going to force them onto the point here. Without that sound barrier as well from Lil Bo, they can't really have a elongating engage here, but then again, you have to wait for that blade as well to come out in order to lay down that ult. Team Gigantti scratching their heads right now. They need to go scratch a little bit harder because they are 80% to 98. They need one more fight to potentially take the map.
It's got to be big brand players. They are going to have a huge amount of armor and of course a speed boost to try and utilize this Deadeye, which can go through the healing of a Transcendence.
There's the blade. Casper's going to find one. That sound barrier did hit Davin, but he already gets killed. Davin does have that Deadeye, but 91% on the clock for Morning Stars. They just need to be able to contest, but with one big pick and one DPS down, and Casper just mowing through people with his shurikens. Malzas is going to disrupt everybody in the back line to try and push them off. Overtime is ticking through. The wick is burning down. However, Zappis' mech falling here is going to leave one person to get on that wrecking ball to try and stall a little bit longer. There will be a beat coming up very shortly for Dredro. He's got it. Does lay down instantly. And now Gigantti are going to start to fall. Milky Man goes down. Leaf is going to find Zappis as well. Morning Stars are just going to be able to cut through. No problem for them apart from the Transcendence that's coming out now. Kind of got debated by that one.
Yeah, but you won't be able to use that Transcendence now against Casper's blade, which is 1% away from Jaws. He's
got it. Zuppe, you got to watch out. Gets instantly cut through. Malzas is going to find Little Bo as well. And Transcendence at the end, not quite enough. Neither's the Doomfist from Milky Man. Morning Stars will wrap up the map set even 1-1. We're going to our third one.
That's a lot of ones there, Jaws.
Yeah.
Counting with Jaws,
Let me do that
you
again.
can only get to 1.
I said 3. I can get to 3. I missed 2 though, I'll give it that. The only numbers I know is
well, let's talk about Davin's swap over to Wrecking Ball because he had to forfeit the Deadeye in order to do so, and I wonder if it was really worth it. Of course, McCree does only have a roll as a mobility cooldown, which is on a 6-second cooldown, so you're not really going to get there very quickly. But I wonder if maybe he'd come back with that Deadeye, potentially it was more impactful from the Wrecking Ball. Because of course, when you come in with a Wrecking Ball, you are a huge source of ultimate charge for the enemy because you're pretty easy to hit and you've got to sort of put yourself in nasty positions on well to keep yourself contesting, especially in overtime when you don't have the option to get off the point.
You've got a small head, but you've got a big body. It's an unlucky Wrecking Ball. Although he's really quick, I can never seem to hit him ever as Arno with sleep darts. It's kind of embarrassing, I'm not going to lie.
That is kind of embarrassing. But Morning Stars here have decided to go for that classic 3-3 composition. Team Gigantti are going to have the mirror. No one thus far on the point. It will unlock in 4 seconds. But for now, Morning Stars appear to have chosen aggression.
Nice boop, actually. Coming through from Dredro to actually knock Milky Man up to get a little bit more charge onto Casper. Casper has 40% already. That is a very, very low Brigitte. However, the Zap is taken out. Malzasa first. That's bad news for Morning Stars. They do get run up. As soon as that Reinhardt goes down, that's pretty much it. Team Gigantti are going to be able to run through Morning Stars to start themselves off. However, look at the ultimate charge already. Zuppe on almost 100%. That's a very, very quick Transcendence.
And this is a risk you run when you go in with a 3-3 composition. Because you have so much health and because you have so much healing, you're going into long fights and allowing people to hit a lot of fire consistently, allowing them to build up ultimate. Zap is there, going to be chasing out Dragon Eddie, who's going to try and regroup with his team. But like you said, Zuppe's already got this Transcendence, so Team Gigantti can be incredibly aggressive, knowing they have the healing to back themselves up should it be required. But for now, Morning Star's coming through the high ground. Transcendence in a very vertically mobile ultimate. They're going to have to wait for an engage.
They still do healing in a massive bubble though. It's kind of invisible. There is a Graviton Surge ready for Davin. He's got to be careful though. Dragon Eddie quite famous at eating those. That's a nice shadow though. Doesn't even need the grab.
See ya.
Davin just right clicks into all of that. Picks himself up 3 kills and that's Morning Stars getting team kill.
And that's what I call value, Jaws. Team Gigantti still have 5 ultimates left. Milky Man Shadow was all that was required, I imagine, very much aided by the shield bash of Facility. Malzasa's shield fell and so did the rest of Morning Stars. But of course, having all been stunned, they weren't able to invest any of their own ultimates and they're moving in towards 6 ultimates of their own.
Best thing about Ghost is that you can engage extremely quick. Oh, Lil Bo, that was cheeky. Malzasa gets stunned. However, secondary bubble used on the side of Casper. There's the grab. They are getting stunned up. However, the Transcendent should be able to save them. There's the self-destruct.
Gigantti bomb returns.
Gigantti bomb returns. This time it's signed off by Zappis. Gets 2 kills, and that should be another easy cleanup there. Morningstar's running for the base. Casper doesn't want to lose that armor underneath his shielding. Much better to actually keep that, plus the energy that you acquired during that fight.
Also, that's going to be heartbreaking for Morningstar. So they just had to invest 3 of their support ultimates to try and make this work. Of course, Leaf does still have armor on Casper and Exaraf, but Dredro and Exaraf won't have the Sandbar and Transcendence available respectively to try and survive the next onslaught of Milky Man's got yet another shadow ready.
There's the grab, Fidelity going low. Uh-oh, Malzasa got the kill and a nice pin as well. Self-destruct not even needed. Why'd you need it when Malzasa's just swinging on in? Good pin to the pillar as well. Fairly hard to actually get to the rest of your team, and a bit of a weird sightline to peek around as well. They do manage to find the cap on the point, and at the start of the game, they did manage to call 13% as well, so a little bit extra in the tank to work with.
Indeed it is, but Team Gigantti are in one-fight territory, Jaws, and Milky Man can end all with a single Earth Shadow as we've seen before, but Malzas is going to be ready to try and also make that work. As the Earth Shadow ready to go, and he's going to be heavily relied upon because Morningstar's desperately to build up more ultimates if they're going to make this fight work.
Oh, Shadow into Shadow, Facility goes down, but so do the rest of Morningstar's. Little Bo's going to jump on Malzasa, just dance on his body a little bit. Gigantti are going to march forward. Zuppe's even going to pop the Transcendence to make it official. Davin still has that grab if he really needs to use it, but I don't think he will. Malzasa's changing over now to the Hamster, and Dragon Eddy stalling it just a little bit more. This could be key for them to get back onto the point, but Davin's got that grab in tow.
He can very much deny the overtime here, but here comes a Wrecking Ball.
Oh, the shield bash denial, straight up stun.
You ain't
and
coming
that
in here.
Will signal Gigantti taking the first map in this series.
Not quite dominant though. We did see a stage gained by Morningstar, so the old guard of Gigantti are very much being challenged by these new upstarts of the Morningstars, and I'll have to see if that will continue to be the case. Of course, Morningstars now get to pick a hybrid map. They get to pick from between Hollywood or Numbani.
So a fairly interesting one, because again, you have KSP on the roster if you're Morningstars, right? And he can play a mean Widowmaker. We saw it a little bit on stage and a little bit in the World Cup as well. I wouldn't be too surprised. However, you've got to look to Malzasa, this very, very veteran main tank on the side of Morningstars, coming up against a relatively new Milky Man, obviously new to Gigantti, that is. He's kind of standing up to him so far, and especially Malzasa at the start of Season 2, we kind of, again, had not an epiphany, but we need Malzasa to pop off in this 3-3 GOATS composition. It seems like the perfect opportunity for him to shine, but Milky Man right now just beating him to the punch.
Indeed they are, but of course he does have a huge amount of great support behind him from the backline of Gigantti, as well as the front line. Zappis and Davin on that Diva-Zaya combination is being very fruitful in terms of supporting Milky Man.
Yeah, Davin was playing a lot of Zaya in the World Cup as well. And that's exactly what we'll be playing next map, I can imagine. Also, we'll have to wait and see, though. We're going to jump to a quick break, guys. Map number 2 coming up soon. Hey guys, welcome back. This is Gigantti versus Morningstars. Map number 1 already went 2-1 in Gigantti's favour. Now we are jumping into map number 2. We'll find out what that is very, very shortly. However, there's one thing I said to you during the break, and that was Leaf and what other heroes are in his pool. A little bit of Doomfist. I mean, we've seen a lot of Doomfist and Sombra kind of counter this 3-3 comp. Maybe that's their key to success here.
Yeah, back in the classic era of Gamers Origin, Leaf was known as the Doomfist guy, and of course, that is still in his wheelhouse. And Casper, who was playing the Genji for their dive previously, is also a very effective Sombra player. So bringing out the Genji, and bringing out the Doomfist Sombra might well be the play here, but we're going over to Hollywood. I wouldn't be surprised if we see KSB subbed in for that second point. That's where Widows can really take over a map, Jules.
Yeah, maybe we will see him on the side of Morningstars. We'll have to wait and find out. So we do load in extremely shortly. Now, Hollywood also, I mean, you can still play Sombra Doomfist. Not on the first point, really, on the defense. Doesn't really work out too well. Yeah, you can hack the lower health pack. I mean, Sombra a little bit better than Doomfist, especially. Doomfist loves a big open field where he can just kind of run around and prance around your supports and end up one-shotting them out of nowhere. I've still got nightmares from Solar Key. Feels bad.
Mirror from Season 2.
Oh.
the great farming of Jaws.
Seriously, he actually farms me. It's kind of gross. I'm not gonna lie. His Doomfist is actually way too good. Speaking of other good players, I'm just a little bit disappointed to see Astro farms me and Solar Q as well. I mean, what can I say? He's a good Lucio too. Doesn't look like we're actually going to see Doomfist on the defense here for Team Gigantti. Davin is going to jump on that Sombra. Okay, kind of proved me wrong already, but I like the support setup too. Ana with the Zenyatta sit up in that high ground. It was kind of, we're not expecting really to see anything else, especially to defense on Hollywood. Can play around that mini health pack as well. Ana's Bio Grenade can be extremely effective with people diving into also.
Really taking advantage of the fact that Lilbo can aim very well for a main support. And Vitality here, he's probably going to have to wait until people engage like past some of these doorways so that you can try and hit them into the walls around, because of course that's where you get most of your burst damage as a Doomfist. You can use your right-click punch to smack people into walls and potentially get one-shots, but you've got so many options as a Doomfist to engage. You can seismic slam and hit them with a couple of those, oh my. No,
Dragon Eddy.
Milky Man's been discovered.
He has been discovered. He's also Dragon Eddy extremely paranoid as well about the Sombra, but you should be more paranoid if your Milky Man ends up getting taken down. That Bio Grenade instantly securing his death. Vitality in a lot of trouble as well. He's going to get hacked. A little bit of healing coming through from the orb. However, he's a pretty useless character as soon as his abilities are taken away from him. Now Zas is going to find himself into the cafe as well. That's a pretty quick and clean cap from Morningstars. Good use of the Sombra in order to scout out the front line. They are going to get a retouch in. Milky Man does come back in, instantly stunned up though, and another Bio Grenade hits him. Dredro does manage to secure the kill. Milky Man going down for the second time. It's looking like Morningstars' fight.
Great single target damage here from Morningstars despite not having a Zenyatta Discord all available to them. Zappa's going to lose his mech here.
Dredro find himself another kill onto Vitality and taking the mech out of Zappos. You know, he can play Mercy really well. He can also play Lucio. Morningstars are going to find a very quick cap. 5 minutes and 15 seconds now remain in the time bank. Look at those ultimates already online for both teams. Davin has that EMP. Managing to build it up as well in a losing fight is pretty stupendous. He's going to need to lay it down fairly early as Casper has his online very soon as well.
Indeed, but also Morningstars have so much armor, which is great at mitigating the SMG small arms fire of the Sombra. He's going to have to be combined very much with other members of Team Gigantti to try and kill anything through this rally armor that has been gained.
He's looking at it. Nano boost from each side. Davin looking for an EMP. There's the EMP coming through from Morningstars first. Counter EMP from Davin. There's the armor though getting ripped away, but a beautiful sound barrier from Dredro. Was able to hide out to make sure he didn't get taken out first. Sound barrier to counteract it, but with Leaf going down, Vitality securing the kill. That's looking pretty good for Gigantti, but the problem is your backline is now in tatters as Mount Zasa does unleash the Primal Rage and finds the kill onto Vitality. Zappis going down as well. There was no hope for him. Even Dragon Eddy somewhere off in the distance is going to kill off Milky Man. Now Zasa switching back maybe and jump back spawn to change up to the Reinhardt, but a beautiful counter EMP from Casper ended up securing the fight for them.
Yeah,
Sorry, a counter sound barrier from Dredro to counter the fight.
Dredro is definitely the hero, not just for sound barrier, but also his ability to control a nano boosted Milky Man. Managed to get Boop as well, and Milky Man there was one of the only burst damage methods that Gigantti had to try and get through the armor that Leaf had supplied using that nano boost, but because he couldn't get in range to hit those swings and he couldn't use his fire strike because he was hacked, huge Gigantti misplay
Big bomb. No, not so big. Oh, Tridd goes down there. It's pretty good. Facility is also going to fall. Malzahsa does end up finding kill in. Just switched over. He's already at 43%. Milky Man has got that shatter, but he hasn't really got the backup he really needs in this team fight. He's going to land a fire strike, almost catching Dragon Eddy, and a couple of orcs from Zape will end up finishing off that mech. So retreat from Morning Stars for the time being. However, that big switch up from the Winston to the Reinhardt does net you at a disadvantage when it comes to ults. Gigantti have a couple online for them, and even a rally now as well to soften the blow of Morning Stars offense.
Duffy needs to get a little bit of extra armor here if he wants to be resilient in the face of danger at Morning Stars present. Xerath almost has that Transcendence ready to go, but Zupe is going to beat him to a punch, or should we say to the kick, because we know just how Zenyatta likes to lay down his melees. Davin in the front, building himself up some charge, to build up to that graviton before Casper does.
There's the grab. I don't know what happened there. There's a self-destruct up in the air. Zupe is going to activate the Transcendence to make sure he stays alive, but Milky Man's going to go down. Laid down the shadow, but didn't quite find anybody, and that'll be Casper just roaming through people. Die on the car as Zappis does end up stalling it for just a fraction longer. Milky Man using that shatter, didn't manage to get the connection. Easy ultimate for Casper there to clean up the rest of the fight, and 2 support ultimates still available for Morning Stars.
Indeed, Xerath and Tridd there. They could have used a spot ult, so Bloodburst if it do so much damage.
Alright, okay, there's the sound barrier to start of the fight, but Malzahsa instantly killing off Milky Man. He got stunned up on the floor, animation to get back up a little bit too long, and he instantly gets taken out. Facility's going to fall as well. Malzahsa with not 1, not 2, but 3 kills in that fight is almost going to net himself another shatter as well. They only use 1 support ultimate in that engagement, and a delayed spawn as well from Milky Man will net a little bit more ult charge for Leaf as well.
We talk about Tridd on the boops. He managed to stop Milky Man in his tracks right there, so that the charge didn't propel him forward, and that gave Malzahsa time to come in and stun him up, meaning the rest of Morning Stars could descend upon the undefended Reinhardt, pick up 500 HP of extra ult charge, which is going to be very useful now for Casper as almost yet another Graviton Surge.
Davin has his online as well. Now, Xerath does have his Transcendence. He is going to use it. There is the Gigantti bomb. Can they remove the shield? No, they cannot. It is going to be completely absorbed. Davin is going to receive a lot of armor from that rally, and that is going to get eaten. Davin's ultimate getting eaten. Okay, there's too many effects going on the screen right now. Malzahsa's going to find the kill on Facility. I'll know when the kills actually end up in the kill feed. Casper gets booped up, but they are going to be able to kill Facility, removing one of those support signals. Doom for the 3-3 comp. Still now, Zap is still fighting on. They just have to die hard to buy as much time as possible. 50% for Casper on his another Graviton Surge. Milky Man has that shatter. He's got 1 opportunity to actually lay this one down, because that cart is nearing the finish line.
It's got to be the Hail Mary, in this case the Hail Milky. Facility needs to hit the shield bash of a lifetime, but Casper will have both of his bubbles available, his projected barriers to try and save Malzahsa. And look at all these ultimates available, almost both spot ultimates ready for Morning Stars, and Transcendence out there beck and call.
Facility on the sideline trying to find something, but the problem is the sound barrier is already going to be laid down for Team Gigantti, and Morning Stars have a Graviton Surge coming up already. Casper moving forward extremely aggressively, knowing he has that personal barrier to aid him if he needs it. There's the Graviton Surge straight onto the stairs. However, Team Gigantti answering kind with their own Transcendence. Davin's going to find a kill, but Leaf finding a mech and the kill onto Facility actually make that mech and Mini Diva, and now it's Morning Stars just with the clean-up true. A Transcendence to keep them all alive in their trance. They step off the cart for not a fraction of a second, and the Graviton Surge aided them in that case to deliver the cart.
You can see just how important momentum is in these 3-3 compositions always. Morning Stars able to use a minimum amount of ultimates in order to try and get that cart moving, whether it was a Graviton Surge and a Dragon Strike, or just being able to bring it down with maybe just Malzahsa's Earth Shatter. And even then, Tridd and Xerath, they're not under so much pressure that they are forced to use their support ultimates. They could use them at their leisure. Team Gigantti need to try and figure out how they're going to deal with this momentum in the future. But for now, Morning Stars have got a respectable time bank of 1 minute and 46 seconds. Team Gigantti can beat that if they have an incredibly zippy offense.
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Fast is a boring word. Zippy's better.
Zippy. Do you reckon that Zap is one of his Smurfs? Zippy. Zappy.
Zippy Zappy Zoo. Zop.
Okay. we need to probably stop.
We'll just scratch that one from a record, please.
Yeah, please. Okay. No one clip that. Morning Stars on the defense now. Gigantti on the offense. We'll see if they want to do the same thing. Remember, Gigantti ran that Doomfist on the Sombra on the defense. But Morning Stars doing the same thing, it seems. All right, Leaf jumping on the Doomfist as well, and Casper on that Sombra. Got to protect those supports, though. Tridd not on the Zenyatta, though. He's going to be on that Lucio instead.
Yeah, we'll have to see if there'll be a bit more cautious positioning from Winston. Of course, what was very important about Milky Man being caught out in that alleyway is that you don't really have a sight line from your Ana to get a heal down there, especially if you get hit with a hack. You can't jump away, you can't put down a bubble. which means you can't get towards your Ana. Your Ana's forced to move out of position to try and lay down heals on you.
Gigantti are going to run Goat's Comp, it seems, with Milky Man on that Winston. However, no Zenyatta in sight. Zuppe is going to be on that Moira instead. It looked like he just hung her back there in spawn just to make sure that he didn't have to change up quite quickly to that Zenyatta if they were running into 3-3. However, they are not. They are going to be running into a Sombra Doomfist. Good punch onto Milky Man. That's exactly what they want to do. And a good bio grenade as well. It's going to send Team Gigantti packing for the time.
Malzahsa claiming a lot of space here, but has used his bubble and he's going to be forced to disengage as well. Davin's got the energy that he needs and he's sending up the mortars, Jaws.
Tried to hit a couple of people, just bounce them off the roof, and that's a lot of damage to the back line. Again, they are going to be able to jump in. Milky Man is going to get boots off, but still Davin. This is the guy that you've got to watch out for right now. He is just free farming Morning Stars right now. However, so is Casper. 70% on that EMP already. Was just pummeling them from the sides with that small SMG. They are not going to be able to move off this high ground there. You can see Tridd doing a good job of that.
He's the first to get an ult. It's a sound barrier.
Yeah.
What's he doing?
Well, Leaf's dead, and that's going to be a nano-boosted monkey, and Malzahsa doesn't have jump, so he's going to not do ult too much. Milky Man's going to do a good job, though, entering the back line of Morning Stars. Dragon Eddie's going to go down. Malzahsa kind of looks around, team already dead, and that will be Gigantti taking the first point.
Casper's been caught out here, forced to move back into spawn. Milky Man still has a primal ratio to be required. It's going to lay down that shield behind him to make sure there was no long-range sleep dart from a respawning Exaraf to try and take him out, or a sight line for Casper to hack him and potentially stymie the momentum of Team Gigantti, which at the moment is heavily in their favor, Jaws. They only had to use the Coalescence from Zuppe there. They still have the Graviton Surge ready. They still have the Self-Destruct, but Malzahsa, he's moved over onto the Reinhardt now, so there's that consistent shield to try and mitigate that combo should it be used.
Consistent shield and consistent healing as well coming through from Exaraf. He only just changed. He needs to build that Transcendence up so quickly. AMP is going to come out from Casper. They are just going to be able to move around. Easy kill onto Davin. Half his HP removed. Those shielding, that shielding getting destroyed with the EMP. With Davin falling, Gigantti seemed a little bit undeterred, as they do send the monkey in flying with that primal raise. They're going to inch the card a little bit forward, straight through the gate, but they still have to remain quite vigilant. They have to wait for Davin to spawn, though.
Team Gigantti have to weigh up how they want to use their resources here. How are they going to try and get rid of Malzahsa's shield? Exaraf is so close towards that Transcendence, which could potentially mitigate one of these combinations with the Graviton Surge. That doesn't have much energy to try and cast through it either, so we do see Milky Man moving over to the Reinhardt.
He only just changed! Delta Jump's going to come in. There is the Graviton Surge as well. The Gigantti no! Ooh, the boot from Facility doesn't quite land. They won't manage to secure the kill, and Milky Man actually pays the price. Oh dear, Exaraf changed over from the Ana straight to the Zenyatta, was able to build up a Transcendence before Davin was able to use that grab. Morningstar still holding on to this gate with their lives. However, Team Gigantti, quick respawns for them, but Malzahsa does have the shadow.
You're ready for a slam, Jaws, because I can see it in Malzahsa's eyes. Leaf's there, ready to, almost has the rally, can bring it out at any moment, and here it is. Everyone can surge forward here with regenerating armor, should it be required, and Milky Man's been afflicted with a Discord Orb as well. Zap is caught out while he was.
What? How'd he die? Alright, Milky Man's already dead. Exaraf with a Discord Orb and a couple extra shots from Casper is going to secure the kill. Burning through the time bank in Gigantti right now. You can see them pushing up to the spawn.
Zuppe has that Transcendence ready to go as well, but look at Exaraf, he's almost got another one. He's 75% of the way. He's doing insane damage, and Malzahsa's ready to lay it down as well. Leaf's going to be building up towards a new rally, but you can see Casper and Exaraf can be incredibly resilient with all that armor under their shielding as well. It's Graviton versus Graviton.
It's Graviton versus Transcendence. They've got to be careful. Morning Stars, they do not have that bomb just yet. Dragon Eddie is going to come up with that just now. They got 5 bolts online. Graviton Surge is going to get chucked in. Davin's going to get a lot of damage off, but the problem is there's a Transcendence to save them all. Milky Man's isolated in the back line, gets instantly killed by Malzahsa, and a Graviton Surge to boot as well, straight on top of the cart, and Gigantti Ascent running. Zuppe is going to make sure they all stay alive, however, through that fight. Lilbo is going to receive that sound barrier as well, but a big stagger onto Zappis is going to net them with even more of a time bank deficit. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remain.
No respect here from Morning Stars. That's what I'd like to see them maybe up against Gigantti, but they are right at their spawn like it's any kind of solo queue comp team. Milky Man does have the shadow ready to go, but Malzahsa still hasn't been forced to use his own.
Look at Leaf, look at his positioning. There's the bomb. Aren't Wright finally pink shatter. Oh, the punch actually does manage to land. The shield bash onto Milky Man just disables his shield, just meaning that the bomb can go off. Dragon Eddie is going to be able to find the kill, and a kill again onto Zappis's mech. Hexarath's going to put him out of his misery with a nice quick and clean headshot. And now, with only a minute 48 remaining, Gigantti are going to have to push harder than ever. They're able to touch the cart here to make sure it doesn't move forward, but they've got 5 ults. They need to use them.
They've invested in a huge ult bank. They're going to have to cash in right here, George, because Morningstar's ready to answer. They've got the rally out there. The Graviton Surge. It looks like it may have been eaten.
It was eaten straight on up by Zappis. That shatter can't be eaten though. However, Transcendence from Extra's going to keep him alive. The Gigantti bomb's going to come in. Zappis on the perfect angle. 3 kills. Redro, Malzasa and Casper go down. And Milky Man swings for the rest. Gigantti end up finding the team wipe. Well, team wipe. 3 ults expended, but Morningstars can still get another touch.
It ain't all good news, Jaws, even with that particular victory from Gigantti. Still looks like Morningstar's probably going to have a larger time bank here. Only a minute available on this last point, and if they can capture that, they'll get only a minute and a half for the last one, where Morningstars have a distinct spawn advantage.
Oh, what a shatter! Malzasa didn't even see it coming. Instant shield bash into the shatter. No more fight available for Morningstars, and the back-to-back team kill for Gigantti. They got a couple of support ults too, and they should be able to deliver this cart quite easily.
Still some momentum in their favor, but Malzasa can put a stop to that. He's got a shadow of his own ready to go, but needs to combine with Leaf to try and take down so many members of Team Gigantti. And they've got so many ways to try and mitigate this. They've almost got the Transcendence, and they do have a sound barrier ready to go as well, but look how aggressive Morningstars are. They all spawn forward and forward they go as well.
Morningstars peeking their heads round the gate. A nice shatter from Malzasa. Easy clean up for Team Morningstars. Gigantti set packing. However, look, they're in their spawn. They're very, very close, and Davin is very close to that Graviton Surge as well. Not too far to run, and 2 support ultimates to boot. They can just run at them here with one of them. However, Casper is almost near the Graviton Surge of his own.
Indeed, Morningstars have 2 support ultimates ready to go. Everyone's going to be very resilient.
Beautiful use of the Graviton Surge there to mitigate any oncoming assault from Morningstars. Graviton just pinning them to the door, and a Transcendence expended by Exarath to keep them all alive in amongst it. Davin's pretty high charge, but needs to work his way towards another ultimate. Rumezauser killing off Vigility. There will be a sound barrier used to secure the rest of the team fights. Morningstars still determined to hold Team Gigantti at their spawn. 1 minute remains. Morningstars, they've got 2 ults to work with, and Malzasa's going to have a shatter as well for next fight.
Casper's going to make sure this next Graviton doesn't get in. Looks like he's trying to be incredibly sneaky in the saloon right now. 53 seconds remain. Team Gigantti are going to be moving forward with a considerable ult bank, but have to worry about the Graviton. Casper right now moving into the wall.
What a grab! Casper aims it straight at the wall, drags everybody in. Sound barrier for Team Gigantti to keep them alive. Zupe in the back line's going to take that trance too. Gigantti bomb finds 2. Zappis is going to find 2 of them, and that will be Zupe cleaning up the rest of the fight. It's going to get confusing over the next year, I'm going to tell you that. Next month, sorry. Team Gigantti are going to find another team kill, and they are going to move forward to victory. However, Morningstars, they've got 20 seconds to kind of play with here, and they've got a couple ults as well.
Indeed, they may well be able to have a free attack if Team Gigantti have to take this in overtime, but they do potentially not have to give up the 3rd point at all. You can see Malzasa currently positioning, wants to see if he can find one of those all-important shadows.
Same combo again, self-destruct in the back line, trying to kill Milky Man, doesn't quite work this time around. Shadow only hits Leaf, and that will be an answering Transcendence coming through from Exarath. Beautiful pin from Malzasa to take out Facility, and even Leaf finding his own kill. Now everybody's off the cart. Team Gigantti are going to have to touch. They got a lot of armor to work with, and Zupe does have that Transcendence, but the problem is you can't use it when the rest of your team are dead. That dead vet getting healed up completely to full, but Zappis was already ejecting. That'll be the last kill onto Zupe. Overtime ticks through, and Morningstar's going to tie the series up 1-1.
They showed exactly where they have their dominance draws. They didn't require bringing KSP on the Widowmaker. Sometimes it's all about just getting that momentum and leveraging some great strategies like finding Milky Man on that early Winston, getting the early pick, and then it just all snowballed from there.
Yeah, great scouting coming through from Sombra. The best thing about the new Sombra is that you can be invisible for the entirety of the map if you so choose. Thing? No, it's actually really frustrating. You can just sit behind supports and just hold the gun to the head, because you know as soon as they engage, the support's going to die. But this in case, it was actually Milky Man. Beautiful bio grenade as well. Stop the healing, and like you mentioned, Arna was sitting up on the high ground, couldn't even have a sight line regardless of that bio grenade even hitting.
Yeah, indeed. And then it was just ultimate after ultimate. They really understood how to make that ultimate bank work in their favor and how to force so many out of Gigantti as well.
They did. We're going to jump over to the desk. We've got 2 maps to break down. Guys, take it away.